My name is Kenneth Giri and this is Word Culture. I'm reading today from the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 5 to 7. Verse 7 to 11. By the way, I'm standing in front of Christ Temple, the headquarters of International Central Gospel Church, which happens to be my church. I'm going to read again Genesis 50, verse 7 to 11. And it says, "So Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, as well as all the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their little ones, their flocks, and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great gathering. Then they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and they mourned there with a very great and solemn lamentation. He observed 7 days of mourning for his father. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, 'This is a deep mourning of the Egyptians.' Therefore, its name was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond the Jordan." Now, I want you to notice the last verse, which said that when the Canaanites saw this great gathering mourning for Joseph's father, that they said, "This is a great mourning of the Egyptians." Take note that Jacob was a Hebrew, Joseph was a Hebrew. He was not an Egyptian. But his influence in the land of Egypt and throughout the world was so strong that the gathering that he put together for his father's burial was considered an Egyptian gathering. And the name Abel Mizraim, which became the name of that place where they had that funeral, was actually the Hebrew rendition for the mourning of Egypt. How can someone a foreigner have such impact on a land that people begin to identify him strongly with that place? Because he put out himself to deliver the results that God intended for him to deliver in the land of his sojourn, like they would say. Now, I want to bring that a little bit home. What the point that is coming out from this is, it is possible to make such impact in the world that you become a significant person wherever you are. Joseph became significant in Egypt and was so strong in his significance that he was identified as an Egyptian. Let me read another scripture and I'll tie it together. I'm reading 1 Timothy 6, verse 6 to 9. It says, "Now godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. And having food and clothing, with him we shall be content. Those who desire to be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and harmful ways that drown men in destruction and perdition." You will discover that there is a lot of talk about the desire to be rich in our generation. In our generation, there are books about financial freedom, how to be rich, how to make sure your third generation has a lot of money. But let me tell you, the people that are rich in the world today, the people that are rich even in the secular world today, they did not become rich because they set out to become rich. They became rich because they set out to deliver a result on the earth. Bill Gates said he wants a PC on every desktop on the earth. He wants every person on the earth to have access to a computer. That was his vision, and that is what made him a significant person on the earth. The guy called Steve Jobs had a vision. He wanted to bring out the best of his creative abilities in his products, and every product he brought out became significant on the earth and brought him money. These people from the beginning did not really set out and say, "Oh, what I want to do on earth is become rich." Every person who decides that what he wants to become rich ends up just struggling around trying to amass wealth. But when you decide to deliver results based on your role on the earth, you find out that money comes as a free benefit of that. One of the things about life I understand is that everybody has their role. You must never be intimidated by someone who tells you that you're not financially educated. Therefore, everybody has to be struggle to make the most money. That is not the intent of life. Find your role on the earth and play. When you play your role and deliver the result that God intends for you on the earth, that is where true life comes from. That is what Joseph did that made him significant. Every person on the earth that is significant, think about it. They are not all significant because they made a lot of money. They are significant because they delivered the results that was, that the earth demanded of them based on their role on the earth. Think about it. This is what I want to share with you today. Thank you for listening. This is Word Culture.